Good afternoon, all. Okay, in this today's session, we are going to discuss the hot tool welding of the plastics. This hot tool welding is also known as hot plate welding, or it is also known as heated tool welding of the plastics. Okay, hot tool, hot plate, or heated tool welding. All these are names for the same method. Okay. Okay, in today's session, we are going to discuss. In the first session, we will discuss this hot tool welding, and in the hot tool welding and ultrasonic welding, we are going to discuss in the first session. And in the next session, we will discuss infrared welding, nuclear welding, and high frequency induction welding. Okay. Now, in this session, I will try to cover this hot tool welding process, and after that ultrasonic welding process, which how it is used for the joining of the plastic materials. Okay, now we will start it. Now this is I will first show you the basic working principle with the help of one diagram. Okay, so this is the, you can say that this is the hot tool welding of the plastic materials. I will explain the basic principle. And, this is also, I have collected one slide showing the different steps. Okay, first I will tell you the basic principle, then actual steps in the welding of this hot plate welding or hot tool welding or heated tool welding. So this is the basic principle, basic working principle, how this hot tool welding process is conducted to join the plastic parts. Okay, this is your specimen. Okay, this is your specimen, and this is the hot plate. Okay, initially what we have to do, we have to first collect our specimen, and two specimens or two parts which we want to join. Then one tool or plate is taken and it is heated, and this heating temperature will be in the range 200 to 400 degrees Celsius. Okay, 200 to 400 degrees Celsius temperature range will be there. In that temperature you have to heat that plate or tool. Okay, this is the hot plate or hot tool. These two are the parts which we want to join. Okay, now in the first stage what we are going to do, in between that parts, that hot tool is placed. Okay, the parts which we want to join. Okay, and the surface which we are going to join, that are placed in contact with this hot plate. Okay, and we are going to apply the pressure in this direction. Okay, for this plate in this direction, and for this left hand side plate in the uh, right direction, or you can say that the opposite direction. Means just we are taking that hot plate or hot tool, and parts which we want to join, we are pressing it against the tool, so that what will happen, the surface of that parts will get heated and it will become soft in nature. Okay, soft in nature, or it will melt. Okay, and after that you have to remove that hot plate. Okay, after melting of the surface, here they have shown this molten interface or molten surface, you can say that. These two are the plastic parts. First we have pressed against the hot tool, and after sufficient heating, that tool is removed. When we are removing it, when that plastic material starts melting, and after removing that tool or hot plate, what we are going to do, just we are going just pressing that molten plastic parts. Okay, molten plastic surfaces are pressed and joint will be formed. Okay, these two parts will get joined. Okay, here it is showing the weld interface. Okay, this is the basic of the hot tool welding of the plastics. Okay, I will repeat it again. two parts which you want to join, these are taken, and one hot plate is collected. That heating temperature for that hot plate or hot tool is in the range 200 to 400 degrees Celsius, and that plastic parts are pressed against that hot tool. Due to that, what will happen? The surface will get heated. Okay, the surface which come in contact with that hot plate or hot tool, they starts melting, and when they starts melting, that hot tool is removed. It is removed, and these two surfaces are pressed against each other. Due to that pressure, they will form a joint, and after some time it will get cooled and they will form a strong joint. So this is the basic working principle of the hot tool welding of the plastics. Okay, all this process is explained in this slide. Okay, it consists of heating of a plastic material in the form of a sheet or a plate with the help of some metallic tool or plate, and pressing it with a little pressure so as to form a strong joint. Okay, the general temperature for the heated tool will be in the range 200 to 350, or sometimes 200 to 400 degrees Celsius. Okay, and now here, to heat that tool, different methods we can use, or for heating we can use the different equipments. Sometimes we can go for electric strip heaters and soldering irons, some hot plates or hot tools, some resistance blades. These are used for heating purpose, or these will act as our heating tool. Okay, and whichever heated metal surface is there, that you have to coat. Sometime you have to make one coating. Generally we are using Teflon coating. Okay, okay, this metal, whichever hot plate or hot tool, this surface is coated. Why we are coating it? Because what will happen when this plastic material comes in contact with this hot tool, due to it may get stick to that tool. This plastic material may get stick to that tool. To avoid this sticking of the plastic material to our hot plate or to the hot tool we are using in this process, we are using one coating on this hot plate. Generally Teflon coating is used, or sometimes you can go for another coating, and that coating material name is mentioned here, that polytetrafluoroethylene. Okay, this is the name of that coating, polytetrafluoroethylene, or simple name Teflon. You can remember it very easily. Teflon or polytetrafluoroethylene coating is used to avoid the sticking of the molten plastic material to the hot plate or hot tool. Okay, these are some parameters I have collected. Before that, I will explain the stages. Okay, so these are the steps involved in the hot plate welding or hot tool welding. This is the first diagram. Okay, here for each step, numbering is provided. If you are not able to see it clearly, you can zoom it on your screen itself. Okay, this is the first step. For each step I have provided the numbering: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stages are there in the first step. Okay, first I will explain this constructional details. Okay, this is your you can say that this is your heated plate or heated tool. This is your heated plate or heated tool. Okay, this is the melt stop. Okay, this melt stop is provided here. Melt stop on the tool. This is the melt stop, and this is the tool stop, and this portion is termed as the holding fixture. Okay, this white portion, the top one and bottom one, this is the holding fixture. What is the work of this holding fixture? Yeah, it will uh, help you to hold the plastic parts or plastic components which you are going to join. Okay, one part is taken in the upper fixture, and one part is taken in the lower fixture. Okay, two fixtures will be there. These are the holding fixtures. Here you can see the clearly, you can see this is the upper fixture and this is the lower fixture. And okay, these are the holding fixtures, and with the help of these holding fixtures, whichever workpiece or that plastic parts you want to join, you can hold it. Okay, they will provide the support. These are the holding fixtures. Then this is the heated plate or your hot tool. You can simply say that hot tool or hot plate. Then this white portion, this extension is melt stop, and this extension is weld stop. Okay. Now in the first step, what we are going to do here, the first stage, the whichever parts, plastic parts or components you want to join, that are held and aligned with the help of holding fixture. This is the first stage. Whichever parts you want to join, these are held and aligned. Okay, aligned as per your when as per your spot for creating the joint. With the help of the holding fixture, we are joining it. Okay, we are holding it with the help of holding fixture, and basic alignment is done. This is the first stage. In the second stage, this heated plate is taken. Okay, heated plate, its temperature will be in the range 200 to 400 degrees Celsius, and that heated plate will be inserted. Okay, inserted in this fixture. This is the second stage. Heated plate is inserted. Heated plate or heated, you can say that the hot tool is inserted in this holding fixture. This is the second stage. Now in the third stage, we are going to apply the pressure on that holding fixtures from both sides. From both sides, we are going to apply the pressure. Okay. Then due to this, what will happen? Whichever this plastic parts are there, its surface will come in contact with. It will come in contact with that hot plate, and its surface will start melting. And after when it starts melting in the next stage, that hot plate is removed from that holding fixture. Okay, pressure is released. That pressure is released from that holding fixture, and the hot plate or hot tool is removed. Then after removing the hot plate, again in the next stage, the pressure is applied on that holding fixture from both sides. In the next stage, pressure again we are applying the pressure from both sides, and sufficient time is provided. Then due to what will happen in this stage, as these surfaces has already melted, these plastic surfaces has already melted, and we are pressing them against each other, they will get joined together to create a joint. Okay, they will get joined here, bond will be formed, and after providing sufficient time, or after the when cooling process ends, these holding fixtures are removed. Holding fixtures, both holding fixtures or top holding fixtures is removed, and the welded part is taken out from the lower fixture. Okay, welded part is taken out from the lower fixture. So this will be your final part, joint part or welded plastic part, and this is the joint created here. This spot you can clearly see here. This is the joint created, joint form. Okay, so this is the steps involved in the hot plate welding or hot tool welding. If you are having any difficulty, you can ask me. I will wait for a few minutes here. Please draw this steps. Please draw the diagrams indicating the steps involved in this hot plate welding of the plastics. And also put your attendance in the chat box, roll numbers in the chat box. I will collect it. Please draw the diagram. Okay, very good example of this hot tool welding or hot plate welding is a resistance wire welding. Okay, I have collected the separate diagram for it. The resistance wire welding. Okay, of the plastics, and where it is used. Okay, this heated tool welding or hot tool welding process, it is used for joining of the different plastic parts which we are using in the structures. We can say that structural plastic parts are joined. Then for some sealing of the plastic films. Okay, to seal that plastic film, we are using this heated tool welding process only. Plastic films or to seal the plastic bags. We are using this technique or this method only. Seal the plastic bags or plastic and that polythene carry bags. Suppose you want to seal it from one side. Okay, it is nothing but simply suppose in your that milk dairies, you can say that the dairies are there when they are packing the milks. Okay, just they are holding that plastic material against one heated tool. Okay, heated tool, and when that surface get melted, they are just applying the pressure. Okay, and they are means that plastic material will get joined. Okay, I think that process you have already seen many times. You have observed it in the dairy. Okay, this method is used for sealing of the plastic bags. Plastic bags. Okay, plastic bags, and plastic films are there that are sealed with the help of this process only. Okay, okay, then we will move towards the next point in this hot tool welding. Now, this resistance wire welding is a type of this hot tool welding that I will explain later with the help of the diagram. Before that, these are some basic tools or parameters. Okay, these are the basic parameters that will affect the welding process, hot tool welding process. The first parameter is a temperature of heated tool surface. Okay, whichever hot plate or a hot tool you are using, its temperature should be within the specified range only. Okay, 200 to 400 degrees Celsius. Otherwise, what will happen? That plastic material will get evaporated. If temperature is very high, it will get evaporated. The plastic material will get evaporated, and if temperature is very less, then what will happen? That plastic material does not melt, which results in means that a joint will not be found. Okay, That's why this temperature should be within that specified range only. Then the next parameter is duration of the contact of plastic with the tool. Okay, um, the plastic material should remain in contact with that hot tool for a specific time only. Okay, you should not hold it for more time, otherwise that material loss of material will occur. Okay, and then after that the uniform pressure should be applied. Pressure should not be too less or too high. If pressure is too high, material loss will be there, and if pressure is too low, then bond will not get created between that plastic materials. Bond will not be formed if pressure is too less. So these three parameters you have to take into consideration: the temperature of that hot tool or hot plate, or you can say that heated tool surface, then duration of the contact of plastic material with that tool, and you can say that the uniformity of the pressure. So these three parameters you have to control properly to get the good quality weld. Okay, so whichever points I have explained, these are highlighted here only. Now there are two types of this hot plate welding or hot tool welding. The high temperature hot plate welding. Okay, whichever process I have explained. Okay, whichever process I have explained here in this stages. This is the high temperature hot plate welding. Okay, high temperature hot plate welding, and the second type is non-contact hot plate welding. This high temperature hot plate welding is also termed as you can say that contact hot plate welding. Means there is direct contact between the plastic material and the heated tool. But in the second type, the direct contact is not there between the plastic material and tool. Just what we are going to do here, that heated tool is taken, and parts which we want to join is just you have to brought near to that tool. Okay, you no direct contact will be there, just very small gap will be there, 1 to 3 millimeter gap you have to provide. This is the non-contact hot plate welding, and the heat will get transferred due to the convection and radiation from that heated tool to the plastic material, and after that you have to press that plastic surfaces to get joined. Okay, this is the simple method. In the high temperature hot plate welding, or it is also known as contact hot plate welding, here between the hot plate and the plastic parts direct contact will be there. But in non-contact hot plate welding, direct contact is not there between the hot plate and the plastic parts. Just you have to bought that whichever plastic parts are there that are bought near that hot tool, and gap of 1 to 3 millimeter is kept, and due to the convection and the radiation, heat from that tool will get transformed to the plastic part, and it starts melting. After some time it will start melting, and when it starts melting, that two plastic surfaces will be forced against each other to form a bond or joint. Okay, in this way there are two types: contact hot plate welding, which is also termed as high temperature hot plate welding, and non-contact hot plate welding. Okay, in non-contact hot plate welding, uh, that extra coating is not needed on the tool surface. In contact hot plate welding, some extra coating is needed. Extra coating is needed. Extra coating is needed in the contact hot plate welding or high temperature hot plate welding, and coating is not needed on the that tool surface, as there is a no direct contact between plastic material and the tool. Hence there is no possibility of sticking the material to the tool. Okay, this is the So, okay, some differences are there. Okay, here the tool, here this point. Okay, please correct this point here. Not word is you have to remove it. The tool is coated with the release agent. Tool is coated with the release agent, or you can say that the coating is provided. Okay, please make this one correction is needed in this slide. Okay, the tool is coated with the release agent in this high temperature hot plate welding. Okay, in this non-contact hot plate, what are the differentiating points? I will explain some differentiating points here. In this high temperature hot plate welding, direct contact between the parts to be joined or plastic part and tool is there. Direct contact is not there between the plastic parts and the tool. Okay. Yeah, then here heat will be transformed due to the direct contact. Okay, and another difference is the coating is provided in this high temperature hot plate welding, and no coating is provided on the tool. Okay, no coating is provided on the tool, and the heat is transferred due to the convection and radiation, as no direct contact is there. Okay, so these are the some types of the hot plate welding and some differentiating points between these two: contact hot plate welding or high temperature hot plate welding, and non-contact hot plate welding. And this is the one practical example of a hot plate welding. This is the resistance wire welding. Okay, resistance wire welding. So in this resistance wire welding, it consists of this is the substrate. Substrate is nothing but the parts to be joined, or your workpiece. Substrate is nothing but your workpiece. Then these are two insulating blocks. With the help of these two blocks, we are going to apply the pressure. Okay. Now, this is the heating element. One heating element is there. Here we want to create the joint between these two plastic parts. Here we want to create the joint. So heating element is provided here. Okay, and that heating element is held with the help of one clamp arrangement, and the electric current is passed through this with the help of this clamp arrangement. We are holding this heating element, and electric current is passed through this heating element, and heat is created. And as this substrate or plastic material is in contact with this heating element, it starts melting. It starts melting, and when it starts melting, this heating element is removed. Okay, when this to plastic part starts melting, that heating element is removed, and the pressure is applied with the help of this insulating block. Pressure is applied with the help of this insulating block, and bond will be formed, or a joint will be formed between these two plastic parts or these substrate materials. Okay, this is the resistance wire welding. Okay, resistance wire welding. In this way, the resistance wire welding is used to create the bond between two plastic parts, or to join two plastic parts. Okay, this is example of the hot tool welding only, or hot plate welding only. Okay, to now what are the applications of this hot plate welding or hot tool welding? Already I have explained, to join the plastic bags or plastic films, or to join these different structural parts, we are using this hot plate welding or hot tool welding. And what are the disadvantages? Okay, some disadvantages I have added here. Slide is there. Okay, yes. So these are the applications. Okay, hot plate welding. Then these are the practical examples. Some polyethylene pipes. Okay, to join the two different pipes, polyethylene pipes can be joined. Okay, and these polyethylene pipes we are using in the gas line. Okay, in the gas line these are used. Then different fuel tanks are there. Different fuel tanks we are using in the automobile sector to join that fuel tanks made up of the plastic material. This hot plate welding is used. Then these are the some applications, some limitations, and some, we can say that, disadvantages. Some advantages are there and some disadvantages are there. What are the advantages? This method can be used for, you can use it for mass production. When small sized components are there, you can use it for mass production and its tooling cost is very less, or setup cost is very less. What are the basic disadvantage for this process? For smaller parts, the cycle time is very small, but as these large sized components are there, or complex shaped components cannot be joined, as uniform heating is not possible. Uniform heating and uniform application of the pressure is not possible when complex shaped components are there. You cannot join them. And when large sized components are there, the cycle time increases. Cycle time is more when the large size components are joined. Okay, it is possible to join them, but it will take more time. It will take more time to join them. Okay, so these are some applications, then advantages, disadvantages of hot plate welding or heated tool welding process or hot tool welding process. Okay, same part I have written here. This slide. Okay. Uh, for this session, this much is sufficient. The next part is ultrasonic welding. We will see in the next lecture. Okay. Next lecture I will take after the break. I will summarize the today's session. Okay, this session I will summarize it. In this session we have learned the basics of this hot tool welding which we are using for plastics. This hot tool welding is also termed as hot plate welding or heated tool welding process. Okay, and in this we have learned the basic steps. In, we have started with the basic principle of hot tool welding process, then basic steps involved in the joining of the parts, and after that we have discussed its types: high temperature hot plate welding and non-contact hot plate welding. Then after this we have discussed resistance wire welding. It will come in the application only. Then some different applications like joining the gas pipes. Okay, gas pipes which are made up of polyethylene material, and joining of different fuel tanks, joining of different polythene bags, polythene films, and then joining of different fuel tanks used in the automobile industry, and some advantages, disadvantages. We have learned this. In this way, we have completed this hot tool welding or hot plate welding process. Okay. In the next session, we will discuss related to the ultrasonic welding, and then high frequency induction welding, nuclear welding, and infrared welding. Okay. Then thank you for attending session. Please don't leave the session. One important notice is there. I will start the session at 2:10. Okay, 2:10 or 2:15. I will start the next session. Okay, I will send the link. You have to join on the time. Okay. Thank you for attending this session. I'll stop here.